Modern life is full of stress and worries. The competitive world has given us a challenging life, and many a times we cannot cope up with a fast-paced life, which leads to physical, mental, and emotional disorders, which shatter us completely. In the modern world, mental health disorders have become a leading cause of disability globally, exacerbating human health. With the divine blessings of Lord Dhanvantriji, hope lies in Ayurveda. Dr. Navdeep Sharma, a spiritual healer from the city of the Golden Temple. His graduation from Sri Lakshmi Narayan Ayurvedic College, one of the oldest institute in our country, associate with Sri Durgyana Education Foundation. His masters from the University of Madras. His PhD in the role of Ayurvedic herbs in psychological disorders. Listed in the World Book of Records for promoting Ayurveda and developing a chain of Ayurvedic treatment and Panch Karma centers in various parts.
A very good evening to all of you in this live interactive session of ours once again from UK. A very good evening to all of you from UK and a very good morning to those who are joining us from US, from Canada and back there, all of you from India. We welcome you all and from all parts of the globe. We are once again over here to discuss a very important topic today. The topic being how to improve the speech. Now, when we talk about speech, when we talk about speech, speech can be of various types, and speech is something which comes as a very common problem in many autistic children who come to us. Many a times the parents will say that my child is not speaking at all, he is only blabbering. At times the parents will say that yes, my child can speak few words but not sentences. There are other cases where the parents come to us and they will tell us that the child is able to use sentences, but the child is not able to carry on with the conversation. So it can be at various levels that a child is having problems with the speech. Yeah, there can be different levels for that, but in all those cases, yes, speech is a very worrisome thing for the parents, because in today's world specifically, and in any times, had it been the past times, in future, any times, speech is something which is one of the most important factors for anyone to be considered normal in the society, and speech is something which is really required to be social. So coming to the speech now once again, when we talk about speech, speech develops in human beings through a reflex. When someone listens, his mother, his father and those around him using a particular language, for example, if we are here in UK and the parents are using English, the child listens parents speaking English. If we are in Gujarat and the child is speaking Gujarati, and the child listens to the parents speaking in Gujarati with each other. So when a child listens, it is through that listening that speech develops in a child. That is why to be versant with the mother tongue, to learn the mother tongue, to communicate through the mother tongue, no special education is required. Just merely by listening to what the parents are using as a language, the same language automatically develops in a child. But when it comes to autism, that is not the case. And that is why for those children where autism is diagnosed at a pretty young age, often the parents visit us and they are coming to us telling that our child is not even saying papa, mama and any such thing. So below 4.5 years of age, if a child comes to us and if a child is not speaking, all that is required is using certain herbs and creating a bit of need for the child to speak. In today's era, families have a single child or at the most two children. The children are pampered much more than they used to be 2 decades ago. As a result of that, even without the child asking for a particular thing, what the child wishes is provided to the child. As a result of that, many a times it is the sign language, gestures, which get reinforced in the child, and a child who otherwise was sent by God the Almighty as a capable child in whom language could have been developed, as a result of this tendency of providing everything to the child without the child asking for the same, gradually the child, even if the child was using few words, comes to a stage where the child becomes non-verbal. So at that early stage, what needs to be done? So there, the herbs which are required, we use those herbs in brain OA. So I'll be sharing those herbs for you. You can see it on your screen. As you can see, Shank Pushpi is one of them, Brahmi is another one, Vacha is another one, Bhringraj is another very important herb, and Jyotishmati again is a very important herb. Most of these herbs are Medhya herbs. Leave aside Shankpushpi, rest all are Medhya herbs. So if a child comes to us at a very tender age, the parents take the case very seriously. Now, when I say the parents take the case very seriously, it is very important because at a tender age, many a times the parents they start waiting. They keep on waiting. They feel that the child is too young. The child may not be requiring any support. They do not need to do much for the child. If they go to their GP, many a times the GP will tell them, let us wait for NHS to diagnose your child. Let us wait for someone to diagnose your child and tag your child as being autistic. Now, why? Why do we need a child age 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4 to be tagged as autistic, and then we need to do something for that child? And unluckily, the worst part of it is that once a child is tagged as being autistic child, the child is now sent to special education centers. The child is now sent to psychotherapists for OT, for speech therapy. And even if a child could have easily come out of that phase, going to those artificial setups, looking around and having so many other kids who are autistic, who are making blabbering sounds, jargon words they are using, the chances of a child quickly improving and coming out of that autism further go down. So that is why it is very important for you as a parent to understand that if a child is not verbal and is not verbal at a very tender age, rather than waiting for someone to tag that child as being autistic, it becomes so important to work in the right direction and ensure that the child comes out of that phase. So that is why using the herbs which can improve the speech of a child are so important. I'll be coming to all of your questions. Your questions are really very important for me and for us. And your names are there, your questions are there. And once I complete the topic, which is very important topic for us today, I'll immediately be coming back to your questions. So moving ahead. Now, once a child crosses 4.5 years of age, now what happens? Now a child crosses 4.5 years of age. Now this is the approximate age, which is the age of reflex language development age going away. Once a child crosses 4.5 years, now the reflex language development which was to occur in the child, now that age has gradually gone away. And now it is the age where a child can be trained for a language. And that is why when our children go to schools at this age, at a particular age, they are introduced other languages. The teachers, they teach them those languages, and yes, the child is trainable for those languages at that age. But if we say that a reflex language development is going to occur at this age, no, that age is lost. That is why when a parent comes to us after the age of 4.5 years, now the child is non-verbal or is using very less words, it becomes very important now to make the child focus, because many a times by this age the children, they will become hyperactive, they will lose focus, they will not concentrate. So that is why when a child above 4.5 years of age comes to us for a language development, what I always tell the parents over there is that, see, we will firstly have to work on hyperactivity if the child is hyperactive. We will have to work on the concentration span if the concentration span is low. We will have to work on the command following if the command following is low. So those are the things which firstly need to be addressed, as in most of the kids those problems have gradually developed with the growing age and without usage of language in that particular child. So that's why the right herbs which we use after 4.5 years are generally the herbs which are there in Breno R. So let me show those herbs to you. And when I talk about those herbs, as you can see on your screen, Mandukparni is one of them, Kushman is one of them, Ashwagandha is one of them, Amalki is one of them, Jatamansi is one of them, Sarpagandha is one of them, Ustakhadoos is one of them. And as you can see, these herbs are almost entirely different from the herbs which were being used below the age of 4.5 years. So that is why when parents, they come to us, just today there were parents, when they came to me, I was astonished to see that someone has prescribed their children with Brahmivati. For autism, they were taking Brahmivati. They were taking Makar Dhwaj, which is a metallic preparation, and one of them was being given with Jyotishmati while the child was already hyperactive. So that's why it becomes very important that although we say Ayurveda is safe, but for Ayurveda to work, someone who is guiding you for your children needs to be educated enough, needs to have thorough knowledge of which herb to be used for which part of the behavior and at which age. So if a child comes and if a child is not verbal after the age of 4.5 years, we are to avoid brain tonics and the direct brain tonics for the child, because that will further make the child hyperactive. So that's why over there, when we give treatment to the child, ABA becomes all the more important over there. Now, when I talk about ABA and herbs, many a times the parents, they ask me that if you are using the right kind of herbs, why do you need us to do ABA? Why not just the herbs? So that is what I always guide the parents who come to me after 4.5 years of age, that please do remember that after 4.5 years, the language is to develop through training. It's only through training that language will develop after 4.5 years. So especially for those of you who come to us at a higher age group of their children, it becomes very important that on one hand, where we are increasing the focus, the positivity, the concentration span, the right and left brain coordination for your child, on the other hand, we are doing the right kind of ABA for your child. Now, what is this right kind of ABA for your child? Let me come to ABA. And before I come to ABA, I need to be telling you something about OT. When I talk about OT, OT is primarily a command based therapy. So, when we are doing OT for anyone, if you see anyone doing OT for your child, what they will generally be telling your child, which is the green out of these, put rectangle on rectangle. They will give various commands to your child, and the child will then be following those commands. And if I talk about ABA now ABA is entirely a different therapy. And again, when we go in ABA, generally ABA can be of two types. One is the command based ABA, another one is the non-command based ABA. A very delicate balance has to be maintained between command based ABA and non-command based ABA. In most of the cases, when I come across children who have been getting ABA done from therapy centers, unluckily, the child is given a tab in his or her hand. Through the tab, the child is made to communicate with the parents, and the parents are told the right first day. Now, this is the biggest hindrance I see in a child developing language. The parents are again and again told by those therapy centers, by any psychiatrist, by neurologist, by pediatricians that see, if a child is autistic, he is never going to come out of autism. Now that is the biggest thing which is in the brain of the parents, and when the parents, they travel across borders, they come to me. When I go to various countries, when the parents meet me, that is the first big question which they have in their mind. They always ask me, sir, you are saying it can be done, but we always have seen that it cannot be done. We have been trying this and this, and when I come across the things they have been doing, I'm really disappointed, because I know about Ayurveda, I cannot comment about homeopathy or something, but when I see what they are using, they are never using the age appropriate herbs, the behavior appropriate herbs. They are simply taking a combination of so many herbs mixed together for the children. Now that is a very big problem for them. So that is why it becomes so very important that we choose the right kind of herbs for our child. Again, when I say choose herbs for your child, it's not very easy for any child to consume herbs. Specifically, if a child is autistic, if a child is ADHD child, if a child is GDD child, do you feel it is easy for anyone to be giving herbs to that child? No, it's not. And that is why it took us so many years and years of research, of product development, where we made too many things, where we had too many things done. We worked a lot on the herbs in the processing, and finally we developed things which are really very tasty for the child. That is why I'll just be showing you quickly Breno A. Now, when I talk about Breno A, you will see again when I talk about Breno A is dry syrup based or a syrup based combination in which all the herbs which I just mentioned to you are put in a bottle. The bottle is like this for the national patients, and for the international ones, that is in the form of a dry syrup. If I talk about Breno R, again when I talk about Breno R again is in the form of a syrup for the national ones, and in the form of sachets and dry syrups for the international ones. So what we have really kept into consideration while developing all these things is that we have made them super tasty, so that no one, we never get a complaint from a parent that my child is not willing to take these syrups, because it took us so many years of ensuring that these are one of the most tasty combinations for a child to consume. So that is why on one hand we need to choose the right kind of combination for the child, and on the other hand we need someone who is really very experienced in analyzing a child, to analyze the behavior of our child. And that is why we request the parents to start sharing some videos of the child, a video where the child is showing some hyperactivity, a video where the child is not obeying your commands, a video where the child is not responsive to his or her name, a video where you feel that the child is not making eye contact, a video where you feel that the child is not socializing. So all those videos, when the parents, they start sending us those videos, now our team, which is a very huge team and which is a very experienced team, the team sits down, the team starts analyzing those videos, and then they compile those videos for someone like me and other seniors over here in our team. And then that someone, either me or someone, analyzes that video, analyzes the behavior of a child through that video. And many of you who get a chance to meet physically or through a video conferencing then connects, and it's then that we decide the course of action. We fix up certain targets to be achieved every 6 months. Now, that is very important for the parents to understand what are the targets, and for us also to focus on certain targets, because if we start targeting each and every aspect of behavior right from the very beginning, right from day one, see, we are dealing with a child. If we expect too much from a child, nothing will happen. So we need to be focused. We need to give them their own space, not be too pushing, and at the same time, we need to stay focused on which key areas we are targeting for the child. And as we keep on working for the child, the first 6 months are the real tough one. The reason being, the association of the parent with us is a new association. As a result of that, many times the parents are apprehensive. They will feel, oh, is it really going to work? Or is it any other person claiming that it can be done? They start comparing us at times to their previous bad experiences with quacks. They just don't see the degrees which, by the grace of Almighty, I carry under my name, and the degrees which my team carries under their name. We are blessed to have PhD doctors, MD doctors, MSc doctors, psychologists who are postgraduates, and a huge team working there for us. And all of them are pretty qualified because we know the importance of each and every child's life for the family, for the parents. That is why, keeping that into consideration, we never ever take the slightest of chance with any of our patients. And that is why, when we work as a team, when we fix up the targets, when we explain the targets to the parents, and when the parents now start working with us as a team, the things they start happening. And this is how we are able to bring a child who is non-verbal to a level where the child can speak. Definitely, the younger the age, the easier it is for us. But having said that, if the parents are really hardworking, it is possible at a higher age, going up to 10, 11 years also. So, I'll be discussing it further with you, but not before I have gone to some of your questions, because as I always say, your questions are the most important for us. We do not want to miss out on the questions. So, the first question is from Jia Jishan. Jiaji, welcome to the live, and you have mentioned, why is it that children with autism continue to do what they have learned in the past 6 months and are not willing to learn anything new? And no matter how hard they try, how long will this continue with them? Sometimes it seems that there is no chance of recovery. And Saurav is the coordinator who has been coordinating with you, and you are from US. I'll be visiting US shortly, and you can get back to the team so that we can meet over there. And it's only 4 sessions of ABA that have been done till now. Now that is the biggest problem. That is the area of concern. What happens is, see, we need to make the things interesting for the autistic kids. If we are consistent in ABA, if we are really very consistent in understanding the behavior of the child, and we ensure that we are making those activities, those things interesting for the child, you will see changes coming. And despite all that happening, every 6 months, if the treatment is under me, then with me. If the treatment is under one of my teammates, under that person, you need to connect. You need to discuss each and every aspect. And that is why, in my research also, and currently also, I always do treatment in a phase of 6 months. Many a times the parents will say, we want to meet you after 3 months. I refuse them because I know that my experience is with 6 months. And many a times the parents see recovery. They prefer carrying on with the same medicines after 6 months without discussing. I am totally against that. Because if we really want to go to the next step, analysis, meeting, discussions every 6 months, they are really very important. So don't lose hope. Yes, you have seen some recovery, but at the same time, what becomes very important is just 4 ABA sessions. Now, that is not going to be of that much help to us. every week we need at least one ABA session. That is the minima. But if possible, and in some cases we require 2 or 3 ABA sessions too. So I would request you, please do not miss out on the ABA sessions and share some further videos of your child with us so that we can further go ahead in guiding Jishan. So going further ahead with Ignite Learning, sir, we really appreciate you being there with us, and it's really a privilege having you in most of our lives. And you have mentioned, hi sir, good evening, please guide up to what age speech can be worked upon. Is there any threshold age limit for the same, and any specific herbs for speech only? Sir, to be honest, once a child crosses 14 years, and if the child is completely non-verbal by 14 years, it almost becomes impossible after 14 years of age to develop speech in a child. It's really very tough. It's only in few cases where I could do that, but in most of the cases below 14 years, it's pretty much possible. After 14 years, once we have all those hormonal activation occurring in the child, then it really becomes very, very tough. And when we talk about specific herbs for speech, Acorus calamus is one of them, Jyotishmati is one of them, but we have to be very careful in using those, where to use, where not to use, because speech enhancing herbs can also increase hyperactivity. So that is why these herbs should be taken under the supervision and guidance of a consultant, a doctor. They should not be taken like that. We should not be trying anything for our child. We say herbs are harmless. Yes, they are harmless. But when we talk about behavior modification, and when we are working delicately with kids suffering from autism, the dosage of herbs, the choice of herbs, that is very important. And I see so many kids taking unnecessary herbs, piling up their bodies with herbs. I don't want that. I always want very precise herbs which are required. Going ahead, Godsessable is the ID. I often give my son a lot of teas such as mixture of cloves, rosemary, thyme, sour soup and basil, turmeric and black pepper, chamomile. He can be very hyperactive. Any of those teas beneficial. So my friend, what you are doing is you are mixing up certain things which are very good for your child, and unluckily mixing them up with certain things which are not at all good for your child. As a result of that, despite the potential of being helpful for your child, these may be ending as being not much effective. For example, when we talk about cloves, when we talk about black pepper, when we talk about turmeric, now these are the herbs which are good for health but not good for hyperactivity. So if we want some child to have lesser hyperactivity, these are the herbs which are to be avoided. When I talk about cloves, they have no role in hyperactivity, neither beneficial nor harmful. When I talk about rosemary, when I talk about thyme, when I talk about basil, when I talk about chamomile, yeah, these are good for hyperactivity. But is the child really able to take those? Do update me that, because at the end of the day, if we are giving something to a child where the child is not enjoying the taste of that thing, rather than benefiting, it may be troubling the child. So if we can make those really tasty for the child by mixing something in them, then they are good. But again, what I just guided you, the things which I guided to be avoided, you must avoid those, and the things which I guided to be taking, you should prefer taking those. And again, once again, what I can see over here, my friend, is that you are not taking the ABA sessions regularly. So please be consistent with the ABA sessions. I don't know why, but many of you believe on my words, they believe on my herbs, they believe on my treatments, they come to meet me, they follow everything else, they join my lives. But if you, I really appreciate you for that. I really like you guys believing me. But what is very important for you to understand over here is ABA is the essence of my treatment. And again, when I say ABA, not the tab based ABA, not the command based ABA, the ABA which I always tell, non-command based, where we create situations for the child. Now that is something which is really very important. If you feel you cannot do it at your own home, give us 2 to 3 months of your child's life where you with your child can travel to us there in India. You can be over there at our Chandigarh center. Let us do that for your child, and you will see a lot of improvement coming your way. But if you can do it at your own home, then you require at least 1 to 2 sessions of ABA per week. Just think it for yourself. We are not psychotherapists. So even if a child is going to a psychotherapist, he requires daily sessions. So if we are getting the sessions done out of parents, how is it possible that the parents are not connecting with us even twice or once a week, and still we can bring the desirable change in the child? So my request, please be consistent with your child's psychotherapy. And going further ahead, Bhakti Bhav is the ID and you are a new member for us. Hi sir, our daughter is having treatment, she is getting better, but sometimes she doesn't like to show much interest with psychotherapy activities. How can we make child more cooperative with psychotherapy? So what is important for you to realize is that you need to get your psychotherapist changed. What happens is every psychotherapist has a particular way of thinking, has a particular way of doing those sessions, has a particular way of training the parents. So if the training pattern of a particular psychotherapist is not suiting you up, we are having a huge team. So you can get back to your coordinator, or you can share a request on the helpline number which is there on your screen and mention the name of your psychotherapist, and we will immediately change your psychotherapist. Because now see, what is exactly ABA? There is a question what a gentleman is asking also. So what I would like to elaborate a bit on that. Now what is ABA? Applied Behavior Analysis. Now each child is different from every other child. Our thought patterns are different. It is just like in a class of 50 when we used to study, each one of us had a different behavior pattern. Getting homework done from one of us by the teacher was different from getting homework done from the another. Someone of us stood first in the class, someone just passed, someone failed, someone was the first one to raise the hand when teacher asked the question, and someone of us was the last. So each one of us has been blessed by different behavior patterns. So when we talk about different behavior patterns, now what needs to be done over there is that someone needs to study the behavior of our child first of all very diligently. Now that can be done through videos, that can be done through connections, and once a psychologist, especially a trained ABA expert who has been trained all these years under me and people like me to understand and evaluate the various aspects of behavior of a child. When such a person tries to study the behavior of your child, now what happens is when he studies that, he gradually develops plans after that on how to get things done from the child. For example, if we want a child to be sitting without showing any hyperactivity signs for on a stretch 25 minutes, 30 minutes, is it through commands that we say, hey John, sit down on the chair, don't move from here? Is it that which is going to help? It may help on one fine day, but that is not the way in which we can expect a child to understand the importance of sitting down for 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Now, for that to happen, we need to plan it out. Now, that is a ABA session in which plannings are made. The plannings are shared with the parents that see, this is how you need to work, this is how you need to create the situations, and when they are done, they really work. So that is the ABA session, and that is why and for a child to be able to cooperate in that ABA session, a particular level of positivity is required, a particular level of understanding is required, a particular level of aggressiveness, tapering down is required. Now all that is done with the help of usage of the right kind of herbs which I just mentioned for you. So going further ahead with your questions, I hope that gives a good reply on the importance of ABA to all of you. And going further ahead, uh, and I would also like, before I leave from today's live, I would like to tell you that see, I'm currently in UK, and what becomes very important for all of us to realize is that we all have made up our minds already, many of us, that autism cannot be cured. A child cannot come out of autism. I always tell the parents, people travel to me from around the globe. When I am in India, they travel to India. When I am in UK, they travel to UK. When I am in US, by the grace of Almighty, they travel to US. And the only reason for that is, if with that confidence I am saying that autism is a temporary phase in the life of a child, if treated timely. And it's now 24 long years that I've been saying that consistently. There must be a reason to that. Why do I say that so confidently? Many parents, when they come to me to contradict me. But when they're sitting next to me, when they see so many kids around who are improving, when they see that all the questions in their mind are answered, when they see that whatever they were being guided about autism till now was only half the information, before leaving they always say, it was worth a meet with you. So I always request the parents, I have a dream where none of the child in this world is autistic, because God didn't send an autistic child to us. It was because of small problems we created, a bit of mismanagements in so many cases, that the child is now autistic. It becomes our utmost duty that whatever might be the number of kilometers, that maybe in thousands, you may have to cross borders, you may have to wait for appointment, but at least for once you should meet, you should discuss, because if you do not meet, if you do not discuss, you may be losing a chance which could have really turned the life of a child who deserves to be absolutely normal child, who deserves to live like a normal child, who deserves to grow like a normal child, who deserves to enjoy and cherish this life given by God the Almighty, just like a normal child. And just because we have made a self belief that no, a child cannot come out of autism, we have got no rights to rob the child his normal life. So that is why I always genuinely request. I know it is tough to meet. I know there's a long waiting time period. I know many times you won't get an appointment in your own country. You'll have to travel to some other country to meet. But believe me, it's always worth a wait. It's always worth a travel. So wherever you feel that you are demotivated, at least for once get back to the team, try how we can connect, but you need to make that connection happen. It's only then that we can expect a child coming out of autism. So moving ahead with the next question. Uh, the next question over here is from Binishji. Binishji, you have written, good evening, sir. My son is 4 years old and he does not talk. Whenever he is happy and angry, he bites his arm. Can you please guide us how you give these herbs? He is on Pacific food which he likes. He eats them only. So what is very important to understand in case of Binish Arif is that he is 4 years in age. And if he is doing those behaviors, that means there has been a lot of forced OT on the child, or a lot of commands that have been given to the child. It becomes very important that we stop those commands for the child. And at 4 years of age, we still have next 6 months on our cards, in our hands, where the reflex language development age is still there. So if we can develop that communicative language for the child, some of the language at least in the next 6 months, we will automatically see a lot of behavior issues going away. Because once we are able to converse through language, once we are able to share our problems through language, our needs we can convey through language, things they really start to change. So in that case, Mr. Arif, we will require some videos from your end, and I don't know you are from which country, but wherever you are from, whenever I visit the country, you are more than welcome to meet, or you can visit me in my upcoming meet for Canada. I'll be in Canada most probably in the ending part of October, or I'll be in US. So you can plan one of the places, and please remember, before he gets 4.6 years in age, there is a lot that can be done. Once he gets 4.6 years in age, yes, again a lot can be done, but it is going to be very slower after that. So the next question is from Payal Thandanji. He understands everything after your treatment, but he still have speech and repeat the things. If do one thing step by step, if I change the step next day, he will stubborn to do same step. He got feedback from the school teacher that she sees huge difference in my son from the February to now, but he can't see it on the state for the long time. And you, uh, we are talking about Gurbaz, and age is 3.4 years in age, and Brenoir concentrated is being given, Mukta Pishti is being given. In this case, we need to be using pumpkin oil also. I cannot see pumpkin oil in the prescription. We can use pumpkin oil. Another thing which we can do over here is that you can share some videos with me, and then we can have at some stage an interaction. If you feel through a video conferencing, we can plan an interaction at some stage. But as of now, since the things are going on in the right direction, it is really very good. Stay positive. It's good that you are watching improvements. The teacher is saying that you are watching improvements, and again, you are from UK, so that is what I always tell people. I've been told that you met me in July. So it's now August and we are in September. So by the grace of Almighty, if within 2 years we can see improvement, this is what I always tell the parents, stay positive. It becomes very tough for the team, for the when the parents say no, it cannot be done. We always keep on telling them, believe us. The moment you start believing that yes, it can be done, you will see things happening for your children. Let everyone say what he wants to say. Let the psychotherapist say what the psychotherapy wants to say. Let the school teacher say what the school teacher wants to say. Let the NHS say what the NHS wants to say. But you should remember in your mind, autism is a temporary phase in the life of a child if treated timely. I cannot comment about others, but by the grace of Almighty, in a career span which is now of 24 years dealing with autistic kids, that is what I see. In each and every case who comes to me, and where the parents believe me and the parents work according to me and the parents are willing to leave aside what others are saying and stay with me as much as I and my team evaluates and requests them to do. So yes, don't worry, it's good that he's improving and he will further improve. Carry on with the good things and be very consistent with the ABA. You are getting ABA done from Amar. Amar is a very good psychologist, but I would also like you to be associated with one of the seniors. So it should be 2 sessions of Amar and 1 session of a senior. 2 sessions of Amar, 1 session of senior. This is what we need to be doing. So going further ahead, the next question which I can see over here is of Shamim Patel. So Shamim Patel ji, hi sir, good evening. Aisha's mom from UK, and Sakshi has shared the details. It is in June that you started the treatment, and you met me during the last UK meet, and Brenoir mild, Brenoir regular, Babuna, Muktapishtish, Pumpkin, Shiropichu, Manasmitra Vadakkam. ABA is being done under Amar, and it's very bad that only 5 sessions are done. We need more sessions, and the child is sick and she's in hospital due to low iron. I would oh, that's very sorry to know, and that is something which I come across of so many autistic kids. They have low iron, they have low calcium. It is a very common thing in many autistic kids, so please be very particular in ensuring that you are giving the right kind of iron supplements and calcium supplements. If you are there with us, we manage the calcium through Mukta Pishti. Mukta Pishti is a very good source of calcium, but still you need to be giving vitamin D3, which is important, and iron, which is important, and do what the allopathic doctors are guiding you over here for the iron supplementation. If you need any support from us for that iron supplementation, yes, there are certain things in Ayurveda which can really bring up the iron levels of the child, but it's only if you wish that we should use Ayurveda for that. I'll be guiding with some Ayurveda for that to Dr. Sakshi, who is your doctor. And thanks a lot, Ignite Learning G. We always appreciate whatever you are supporting to our channel, but even if you are not supporting, the biggest support for us is that yes, you join most of our lives, and I really appreciate you for that. I really love those people who are consistent when I go live, and it's for people like you that I love being live over here. And going further ahead, kids kingdom. It always remains a constant fear that after all medication and ABA session finished, will there be again regression in kids behavior, or should we follow same routine after all medicine finish? Kids kingdom ji, whenever you have that fear in mind, tell me and I can put you across those kids who are now married, because I was too young when I started giving treatments in autism. I am 47 in age now. So just feel I had just passed out my degree when I started treating autistic kids. So those kids who I treated at that time today are married, many of them are MCAs. They are perfectly all right. There was no regression. So in most of the cases when we give treatment and when the parents follow complete treatment, and the parents, they are not quick to stop the treatment. There are some cases where what the parents will do is they see the change, they see a 70-80% improved child, and they will stop everything. There maybe a bit of regression can occur, although it really occurs over there also. But why to take a chance? So in those kids, in those parents where they are following everything and then they finally stop the treatment as per our guidance is concerned, I haven't seen regression occurring. So don't worry about that. If you're watching positive changes in your child, those positive changes will continue, and believe me, you won't see regression occurring in that case. The next question is Karipa. Please, I just got the link. What can we do to improve our child Joshim speech? And Sakshi is your doctor, and you recently started with Brinoir and pumpkin, and one session till now has been done with the Amar. And can I know, your doctor hasn't mentioned from which place you are there, so can you help me out with your location as of now? Because it's good that you are doing everything and you are following everything, but I always guide the parents that if I am at a place where you guys are there, for example, if you are from UK or you are from US, you are from Canada, where I'm going to be over there, it's always worth a meet. I love to meet parents because when I meet them, even though my team is doing everything in the perfect way, but meeting me always adds something to that. With all the experience by the grace of Almighty, which I have developed gradually working with autistic kids, I love to share those experiences with children and with the parents. And since you are based in Canada, you can get back to the team, and so that we can ensure we do catch up when I am there in Canada. It will be shortly, most probably, that I'll be visiting Canada, and we can meet at that time. Till the time you can carry on everything, please be consistent with the ABA sessions. That is something which are really going to work for your child. At least 2 ABA sessions per week. They should not be less than those. And Brenoir and pumpkin seed oil you are already taking, and you want to improve speech. So ABA is something which is very important. I again do not have the age of the child. Unluckily, your doctor hasn't shared the age with me. So I would appreciate if you can do that hard work for me by sharing the age, and I'll be updating you further in that regards. And I would request Dr. Sakshi and all the doctors from the back end who work for us, when you are updating any information about your patient, please be consistent with each and every details, making it easier for us to be guiding your patients. And going further ahead, uh, Rajesh Sharma ji, hi, good evening, sir. We are looking forward to see you virtually very soon. Hopeful to get consultation slot soon. Till that time, what can we do to make our child better, very hyperactive and non-verbal? Rajesh ji, before we are connected virtually, if your child is very hyperactive, you can add Braino R without any fear for your child. You can give Braino R all 3 times a day, and you can start with ABA for your child. These are the two things which you can start as of now, and then yes, once we meet we can do a lot of stuff. So as I can see over there, the age is 4.9. Thanks for helping me out with the age. So that means he's now at a trainable age. So 2 sessions of ABA per week are the minimum number of sessions required in that case. Gaganology, hi, I want to know how to encourage my child to speak more, like he has speech but he's not using too much. What can we do to help him? Gaganji, I would require some further details from your end in regards of your child. I would really appreciate if you can share some videos with us on the helpline numbers which are there on the screen, and then I can even guide in a better way. Muhammad Zayanji, after herbs and ABA, will my child speak, or I need speech therapy? No, you don't need a speech therapy. When we say ABA, we are covering a part of speech in that. Speech can be a direct speech therapy, or it can be an alternative ABA which is used to make a child speak. So in most cases, when we do the ABA, which we guide to the parents, they don't require a separate speech therapy. If it is required, you will be guided it in the beginning itself. That is only in rare cases. In most of the cases, our ABA covers it all. So going further ahead, Randeep Kaurji, hi Dr. Sharma, I would want to ask that it's been more than 2 months since my child has been consuming your medicine, but my child is still quite stubborn and hyperactive. When would we see some sort of changes? And it's see, that's the most important thing, ma'am. The age is 9 years in age, and you met me in July. Mukta Pishti, Brinoir, and stop this Manas Mitravadakam. Immediately stop this, because we need a higher dosage of. He's 9 years in age, and yes, definitely I would have prescribed certain things to you, but the dosage of the things are going on in a lesser quantity than what I require. Stop the Manasmitra Vadakkam as of now. Increase the dosage of Breno R Hot Sip Mild to double the dosage. Now that is something which is required. Gurpriya is the one who is doing those sessions for you, and you are yet to receive certain things which are very important for your child, like Jyotishmati, Vachadi Gritam, Mahapishachi Gritam. Now that is something which is very important, equally important as the medications. If you are not getting it from India, you can get it from UK. Try procuring them out, because I do not remember the case entirely as of now. I won't lie to you with same kind of patients coming to me, but I do remember it to some extent. So I feel I guided you that we need to increase the coordination between the conscious and the subconscious mind. So that is why the ghees which I guided are very important for your child. Try finding them out. If you are not able to find it out over here, get back over there to my team. We'll try to ship it to you, but we really need those. And for the time being, stop Manas Pranavakam. Again, when we talk about the ABA sessions, in this case, we will require 2 ABA sessions per week to be done. If the stubbornness is not coming down, 2 ABA sessions. And at a child of 9 years of age, generally the parents start watching good results by 4th or 5th months. In a child of younger age, it is from 2nd or 3rd month onwards. In a child of 9 years of age, 4th or 5th month. So be patient, don't worry, carry on with all the good stuff, do the bit of changes which I just guided, and you will see the change. And going further ahead, Payal Tandon, I already met you in August, UK. I feel positive vibes and aura you have. I feel so positive now. My son understand everything now. May remember little Sardarji you met. Thank you and your team. We use pumpkin seed oils. I really appreciate your comments. It's like comments like these that really make my day. Believe me, Payalji, meeting patients every day, trying to be to the best of what we can for the patients, for the parents and everything. These kind of encouraging comments for us really matter. Thank you for appreciating words. And yes, you are going in the right direction. The little Sardarji will soon be what we want him to be. And going ahead, Ganimirji, my 8-year-old son who is taking your supplement since August 29 is on respirator medication 0.5 ml. When do we start lowering the dose? So what we can do for that is that in case he is on a respirator medication, we can connect you to one of our pediatricians. I always believe that when we are to reduce allopathic medication, since by the grace of Almighty, NDK Nirogam Private Limited is an organization which has a huge panel of allopathic doctors also, we always believe in tapering down the allopathic medication under the guidance of our allopathic doctors. So yes, get back to the team, get back to Dr. Aarti. She will fix up an appointment for you with one of my psychologists, and that can be done. There are further questions, there are further appreciating words, but someone is waiting for me currently at my reception desk in the hotel. I am there staying in UK currently, and since the number of those who were to meet me today were too much, so I have someone special waiting for me. The parent and the kid are eagerly waiting. They got stuck in the traffic. As we all know, today is tube strike over here in UK. So I will have to wind off over here. I'll have to take a break from all of you. For all of you who joined us from US, from Canada, please be very quick with the team, because just like here in UK, I believe in fixing up only those many days, as many as are required over there in a particular country, because back there in India also, there are people who come to us for months and months together. It becomes my utmost duty to visit them while their therapies are being done over there, at least once in a month or twice in a month to ensure that the faith with which they visit us, the faith with which they are there in India on those centers, we are able to live up to that faith. So, for all of you who joined us today, once again, a thanks to all of you. May God the Almighty enable us to ensure that what beliefs you are having from us, we are able to live up to your beliefs. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Autism is a temporary phase in the life of a child if treated timely.
Patient name Parth, age 3 years, disease autism. Chief complaints speech delay, hyperactivity, irritative behavior, less interaction, less understanding. The parents of the child consulted Dr. Navdeep Sharma on April 2023 at 1:09 p.m. and felt the scope of treatment to work for the child. He did not respond clearly and showed irritative behavior most of the times.
करो
आ जाएगा वो.
कलर करो. वेरी गुड पार्थ. कलर करो. नो, इस हैंड से कर. वेरी गुड. इसके अंदर रख दो. वेरी गुड. पापा का हैंड, दीदी का हैंड करो. हैंड. चलो. वेरी गुड. खाओ. वेरी गुड. हेलो पेरेंट्स. पार्थ हेलो करो. हेलो करो. ये पार्थ है, मेरा बेटा. 4 साल का होने वाला है. लास्ट ईयर जुलाई में हम डॉक्टर नवदीप शर्मा सर के यहाँ पहुँचे थे. हमें एक सर ने मेरे बताया था सर के बारे में. हमने सोचा भी नहीं था कि आज 9 महीने में पार्थ मम्मा पापा हमसे बोलेगा इतनी जल्दी. हम तो मतलब बड़ा एक माँ पेरेंट्स के लिए रहता है कि कब हम मम्मा पापा सुनेंगे पार्थ के मुँह से. आज पार्थ मम्मा पापा और विद सेंस सब कुछ बोलता है. भगवान की कृपा से और सर की मेडिसिन और सर के गाइडेंस से आज 9 महीने में पार्थ एक नियर टू नॉर्मल लाइफ जी रहा है. और स्कूल में भी पार्थ ये ग्रुप में था. अभी जस्ट 15 दिन पहले ही स्कूल में मैम ने बोला कि पार्थ को हम नर्सरी में भेजेंगे. और जो सर ने जो लाइफ में हमारी खुशियाँ दी हैं, बहुत एक पेरेंट्स के लिए इससे ज़्यादा और क्या हो सकता है कि उसका बच्चा इतनी जल्दी और इतना अच्छा इम्प्रूवमेंट हो जाए. एक पेरेंट्स के लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है. थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच हमारी लाइफ में इतनी बड़ी खुशियाँ देने के लिए. थैंक यू एंडी नरोत्तम.
Autism is a temporary phase in the life of a child if treated timely.
Patient name Riwan, age 4.5 years old, disease autism. Chief complaints speech delay, less understanding ability, inexpressive, sensory issues, lack of focus. The parents of the child consulted Dr. Navdeep Sharma on 27 November 2022 at 11 o'clock a.m. and felt the scope of treatment to work for the child. The chief complaints were speech delay, unable to write and sensory issues. The child could not write by himself. He was also not very socially active. Throughout the treatment, significant improvement was seen in the child. He started writing on his own, gave answers and also became active. He started interacting more and gave answers instantly. His focus also saw an improvement. He also participated voluntarily in activities and also excelled academically. Instant responses were also seen within a few months of treatment. With improved attention span, he became quick in recognizing and mind game repair. He was able to interact more with peers, participate in class and also understand things in a better way.
मेरा नाम प्रिया है. मेरा बेटा है 5 साल का होने वाला है. एंड मुझे नवदीप सर से मेडिसिन लेते हुए मोर देन 12 ईयर हो गए हैं. एंड आई हैव चेंज लाइक आई हैव सीन इमेंस चेंज इन माय सन. लाइक जब हम यहाँ पे आए थे तो ही वाज लाइक वो एक वर्ड ही बोलता था. एंड जब से हमने मेडिसिन शुरू की है एंड मेडिसिन के साथ साथ शुरू हमारा वन मोर देन 12 ईयर से चल रही है. एंड द कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ दिस मेडिसिन इज बहुत ड्रास्टिक चेंज है. जैसे अपनी वो सब कुछ अपनी चीज़ें 99% अपनी चीज़ें वो बता पाता है ईजीली. एंड दैट टू वे स्टार्टेड मेकिंग फुल सेंटेंसेज ऑल्सो. क्लास में भी अकेडमिकली ही गोइंग सुपरली ऑल्सो. ही स्कोर 88% इन दिस टास्क. एंड वहाँ पे जब वो नर्सिंग था ही जस्ट स्कोर 55%, नॉट इवन 50%. एंड अभी जिस टर्म ए में इवन जूनियर के जी टर्म ए में उसके 88% नंबर आए हैं. नाउ ही स्टार्टेड राइटिंग ऑल्सो. पहले तो पकड़ के लिखता था, पैसे पकड़ के उसका कोई भी प्रॉपर नहीं था और अब वो लिखने भी लग गया है. प्लस मुझे जो मेडिसिन से जो मुझे मेन फर्क दिखा है दैट इज सेंस. जो मुझे चाहिए था कि सेंस में घुड़ की डेवलप हुई. पहले उसको फ़र्क ही नहीं पड़ता था कि कोई घर में आ रहा है जा रहा है. वो जस्ट कमांड वाइज ही चल रहा था. लाइक ये स्टार्टेड फॉलोइंग माई कमांड्स लेकिन अपने दिमाग से वो कुछ नहीं कर रहा था, बट जब से मेडिसिन लेना शुरू किया आफ्टर 3 मंथ मुझे ज़्यादा चेंजेस दिखे हैं। 3 मंथ्स में धीरे धीरे चेंज आए। अब विदिन अ ईयर तो ड्रास्टिक चेंज है। जैसे उसको देख के आप बोल ही नहीं सकते हो कि दैट ही हैड माइल्ड ऑटिज्म, तो उसको माइल्ड ऑटिज्म भी था, बट अब वो माइल्ड ऑटिज्म के स्पेक्ट्रम से भी निकल गए। अब जस्ट उसके थोड़े थोड़े सिम्टम्स रह गए हैं। एंड वी आर स्टिल इन टच विद नवदीप सर, वी आर स्टिल टेकिंग द मेडिसिन। उनकी जो भी गाइडलाइंस है, बी डाइट, बी का यंत्र, वी आर डूइंग दैट रिलीजियसली एंड आई मीन इट। विद दैट हम उनको हीलिंग म्यूजिक भी सिखाते हैं, जिससे बच्चा इंटरनली भी हील होता है। मेडिसिन हम दे रहे हैं, सो आई एम क्वाइट